Alright, welcome back to the channel of Pro Enzo Vids, and this is my round 20 NRL tips for 2025 this afternoon. So, yeah, look, guys, less than 10 weeks to go until the regular season is done and dusted. Like, just crazy how quick this season's gone. I say it every week, but yeah, like, honestly, round 20, so that means 7 weeks left of the regular season. Just nuts, just nuts. And the crazy thing is that the top 8 is not even set in stone just yet. I think you can argue about 3 clubs are already locked in, but the rest are probably not locked in just yet. So, lot to come in these 7 weeks, but I'm expecting more clubs to prefer wins than losses. So we'll see what happens in the following weeks. But for now, we're in round 20. Should be a good round ahead. Manly Melbourne, I'll be there in Melbourne. So if you're going as well, let me know in the comments down below, because it's my first time to Melbourne, never been there before, and first time to AAMI Park. But I'm not just going to AAMI Park for the Manly Storm game. I'm also going to the AFL the next day on Sunday at the MCG to watch Collingwood Magpies, my boys. You can see the post in the back there. Collingwood versus Fremantle Dockers. So first time watching an AFL game and watching Collingwood play live in person. So very excited for that as well as Saturday. But should be some classy games ahead. Obviously, we've got games that I think have a lot of potential. Like Dolphins Cowboys can be good if both teams are on. Sharks Roosters should be solid. I think our game, Manly Storm, has potential if Manly turn up. And other than that, all the other games are pretty 50-50 if I'm being honest. So should be a very good round ahead. But as always though, like, comment and subscribe to the channel, and thank you for your continued support. You know who you are, so thank you very much. But here we go, let's get into the tips. Okay, so Thursday night, Dolphins versus Cowboys at Suncorp Stadium, 7:50 p.m. kickoff. So the last time these two sides played, it was a Dolphins annihilation at Queensland Country Bank Stadium, with the Dolphins winning. I can't even remember the score, but they won by 50. But, obviously this time around, Dolphins, they're probably fighting for their season, I think. It's kind of crazy. Dolphins have been in great form, I feel like, all season, but they're not confirmed for the 8 just yet. And as for the Cowboys, the Cowboys need to win. They need to win so badly. Like, if they lose, I don't know what ramifications it may have in their season, but it's definitely not going to be good ones. So they will be very desperate for a win on Thursday. But look at both sides. For the Dolphins, Hammer is back at fullback. Avrilo goes to the wing. Corneli Lemuelu has been promoted to the starting side after Kuli Kefa-Finafiliaki was ruled out with a broken thumb. Mark Nichols will also sit out for Thursday night after being placed in the concussion protocols. And Harrison Graham and Peter Holler are the new faces on the bench. Peter Holler, the former Cowboy, actually. As for the Cowboys, John McLean will miss Thursday night's game as he manages an ankle injury. So that means Thomas McKaylee starts a prop in his position. Also, Caden Lars, the rookie, will come off the bench for this game. And Jackson Bullo will also come in on the wing for the dropped Robert Derby for this game. Jake Clifford remains sidelined with a quad injury, while John Bateman returns from a groin issue, has been put on ice for another week. So he won't be back for this game, John Bateman. All right, my tip for this game, look, I think, the Cowboys' effort against the Dogs was very good last week. They nearly got them there, but not quite in the end. But I think with Hammer back, that adds a whole bigger dimension to the Dolphins' attack. And Dolphins were very unlucky to lose to the Sharks last weekend. So I feel like Dolphins at home, they may just get the win here, but I don't think it'll be a smashing no. I think Cowboys will give it their all, but I think Dolphins have a bit too much class in the end. So I'll go Dolphins to win. Let's go Dolphins. I'm seeing a scoreline of 26 points to 20, bit of points in there. First try scorer, give me Jake Avrilo, and anytime try scorers, I'm going to go with the Hammer. And for the Cowboys, I'm going to go Brian Burns, actually. Brian Burns for a try, but I think the Finns will win. Next up, on Friday, the first game of 2, it's the Sharks versus Roosters, 6 p.m. kickoff at Shark Park. The Sharks, not the greatest win last week, but they got the job done over the Dolphins at Shark Park as well, 24-12. As for the Roosters, the Roosters, obviously, after that shock loss to the Tigers the week before, they had to bounce back, right? and they did that against the Dragons at Cogra, winning 31-24. So I guess, they'll take confidence out of that game, and I guess playing Sharks is a bit more tougher than the Dragons, but we'll see how the Roosters go for this game. But look at both these sides. For the Sharks, they have named an unchanged team for this weekend after their win over the Dolphins last Friday. So no changes there for the Sharks. Fanua Blake will play his 200th NRL game. Wow, Fanua Blake 200th, eh? He'll be up for that one. While Siva Talakai remains in the centres, Daniel Atkinson comes on the bench in the only change to the 17, so there's one change, Atkinson in. And Billy Burns goes to 18th man. Sam Stonestreet has been named on the extended squad and is a chance to make his NRL return after making a successful comeback from ankle injury in the New South Wales Cup last week. As for the Roosters, Trent Robertson has opted to recall Chad Townsend, the GOAT. He's back in the team this week at 5'8", with Hugo Savala out with injury. Sandon Smith has been named on the extended squad. Just one change to the team that defeated the Dragons last week. Lindsay Collins returning to the starting side, and Spencer Leonu going back to the bench. Okay, my prediction and tip for this game. Again, I feel like this game will be quite close, but I think Sharks win just because it's at Shark Park, but I don't think it's going to be a convincing win like last Friday. So I'll go Sharks to win. Let's go the Sharks to win. Let's go 24 points to 18. I think that will be the score. First try scorer, give me Ronaldo Mulatalo. And anytime try scorers in his 200th game, I can see it. Fanua Blake going over anytime. And for the Roosters, going with the man himself, he's due this week. Didn't score last week, but he's due this week. Mark Nwangani-Tawazi. Now, on to the main game on Friday. It's the Panthers versus the Rabbitos at CommBank Stadium. So, yeah, Penrith, look, they are probably locking themselves for a top 6 spot at least. I think the Panthers are back to where they normally are. I don't know if they'll win the comp, but I'll tell you what, if there's one team that could win the comp outside the 4, it's Penrith. And I hate to say it because I don't want Penrith winning any more comps, but far out. 5 wins in a row. They're making a run right now. We've seen this story before. They're just so hard to stop at this point of the year. And yeah, look, Penrith are just on a roll, aren't they? They're on a roll. As for the Rabbitos, well, definitely the opposite with them. The week before, they lost to my boys Manly at Brookie 30-12. I thought South weren't too bad in that game at the start, but just their attack and defence was really, really poor at the end there. So don't know what kind of South side we'll get this week, but yeah, look, it's not looking good for their season if they do lose on Friday. So look at both teams. For the Panthers, Nathan Cleary will sit out for this game. With Blaise Talangi to partner Brad Schneider in the halves. Isaiah Yeo has been rested for this game. So Isaiah Yeo out with Cleary, been rested from Origin. Liam Martin remains sidelined. Dylan Edwards and Brian Toto are both named to play. Isaac Tungo's suspension has seen Port Lamoti recalled to the centres, while Scott Sorensen is back from suspension in the second row. And Edwards being back also will see Dan Laurie go to the bench for this game. As for the Rabbitos, Lil Stott has earned a NRL recall and will come off the bench in jersey 17. Jack Wyden and Jamie Humphries will be the halves again. Cody Walker's out for the year, so I'm expecting Wyden and Humphries to continue that combo for now. Latrell Mitchell returns from Origin duties and will go to fullback, and Alex Johnson to the wing. Isaiah Tass will line up in the centres with Campbell Graham out with a back injury. Ewan Aiken returns from injury to the second row position. Brandon Smith will be out, so that means Havili goes to hooker, and Memazolis makes his return to the Souths team off the bench. Mawali is also injured as well for the year. David Mawali out with an injury, and that means Sean Kepi's back. So far out, man. South's injury curse is really bad, isn't it? Terrible. For this game, though, look, I think Penrith have to win, right? I think South could start well, but I think Penrith have more quality, and they probably will get the 13+ win in the end, to be fair. I hate to say it, but yeah, look, Penrith aren't going to be stopped anytime soon, I don't believe. They could be by bigger clubs, but I think in this game, it's going to be a good win by Penrith. So, Panthers to win. Let's go. Penrith 34, South Sydney 16. First try scorer, I'm going to go with Brian Toto being back in the team. And anytime, let's go with Scott Sorensen in the back row. And for the Rabbitos, going with, let's go with Talis Duncan again in the centres. Okay, moving on to Super Saturday now. It's the first game of 3. It's the Raiders versus the Eels at GIO Stadium there in the nation's capital. Canberra, look, had the bye last week, but their form's been great as well. One thing I've noticed about Canberra is they're not winning games 13 plus, really. Apart from that Rabbitohs game a couple of weeks ago, they haven't been winning 13 plus, but I guess they've been grinding out games really well. And I think come September, Canberra being able to grind out games like they have been is going to be really crucial for finals ahead. So, yeah, they're doing well, Canberra, doing very well. They're first on the ladder for a reason, right? So, yeah, what a club, going well this year. As for Parramatta, you know, they weren't too bad at the start against Penrith 5-4, but yeah, they just got too frantic with the ball in hand and made too many errors, and that cost them dearly in the end there. So we'll see how Para go for this game. Look at both sides. The return of Origin duo Josh Papali'i and Hudson Young have made the Raiders 4-pack shuffle a little bit, with Papali'i starting at prop, Young back row. That sees Corey Horsburgh move to lock, Morgan Simi's and Simi Sasagi goes to the bench. Noah Martin and Trey Mooney revert to the reserves, and Chevy Stewart is 18th man. For the Eels, Josh Papali'i will start at 5'8". Yeah, wow. So Josh Papali'i starts at 5'8" for the Eels. Dylan Brown dropped to 18th man, so I guess Riles is really adamant the future is now, and I can't blame him, to be honest. Dylan Brown's not part of their plans next year, so why not start the future now? Parramatta are making finals, so may as well get things started early, I guess. So yeah, Dylan Brown, 18th man. Kitione Kautoga is out with injury, so that means Jack Williams goes to the starting back row position. Jermaine Hopgood coming off the bench, Hopgood to prop, and John Sermani is the new face on the bench. Okay, my tip for this game, look, I think Canberra get a very good win here in the nation's capital. I think Canberra win 13 plus. Let's go Raiders to win. I'm going to say maybe 38 points to 10. First try scorer going with, let's go Hudson Young for first try. Huddy Young. And anytime, let's go with Sebastian Chris. And for the Parramatta Eels, Bailey Simonson. Okay, next up at a call stadium at 5:30, it's the Bulldogs versus Dragons at a call. Yep. So obviously when these two sides played last, it was a Bulldogs win at Cogra and a pretty good win as well. So we'll see if Dogs can make it 2 from 2 over the Dragons this season. As for the Dragons, look, the effort's there, but they can't win. They can't win. Like, they really can't. Like, they're trying hard, I feel like, but things aren't combining very well from them, and they're just, not winning the games that they are close to winning. So, it could be quite costly in the end there if, those games will turn into wins instead, but that has not been the case for the Dragons. Looking at both sides, Lachlan Galvin has been named to start halfback for the Dogs in this game. Big call dropping Toby Sexton, but I guess Sexton, again, not part of the plans for the Bulldogs going forward. So I guess Serrato is very adamant that, Galvin's ready to be their 7 going forward. But we'll see. It's a big risk, though, especially how good Sexton's been this season. So that means also Matt Burton has been named at 5'8", and Sexton to the extended squad. Stephen Crichton and Kurt Mann are also back for the Dogs. Bronson Jerry's out with Critter replacing him in the centres. Anari Sawala keeps his spot in the centres. And Jeffro Renakama will keep his spot on the wing after debuting last week. While Daniel Saluka Fafita has been named in the reserves and is a chance of making his return from a concussion. And Tupanua is also a chance of returning from a hamstring injury and is in the extended squad. Okay, well, there we go. My tip for this game, I think this game might be quite close, but I feel like the Dogs will be too good at home. So I'll go Bulldogs to win 1-12. I'll say Dogs to win 28 points to 18, 10-point win. First try, going with... I might go a bit bold, actually. I'm going to go Matt Byrne for first try. I don't know why, but I just have a feeling he could score first. Anytime, let's go with Karaz, and for the Dragons, Sione Finau for a try. Next up, the big one for me, in Melbourne, Storm versus Manly. The old rivalry back at it at AAMI Park in Melbourne. So, Yep, I'll be there. Looking forward to it in the Manly away base. So not expecting a miracle, but I do hold out hope we get the job done because we can win games like this, I feel like, but it depends what Manly side turn up because, yes, we are very inconsistent. But the boys have had a decent month, 2 buys and 2 wins, so it helps a little bit. But yeah, this is our biggest test in a long time, so we'll see how we go. Melbourne thrashed us at home last time, so I'm hoping the boys take it personally in that sort of way. And congratulations to Ethan Bullimore too, 100th game for Bully, well deserved. What a workhorse he is for Manly. So looking at both these sides, Ryan Pappenhausen is out. He'll be out for another week, returning from calf tightness, so the Storm have rested him for this game only. With Nick Meaney to start at fullback. In positive news, Xavier Coates is back on deck and will start on the wing. Munster is also named to return as well. With Coates back, Grant Anderson goes to the centres and Joe Chan goes to 18th man. Trent Liero is also back on the starting side with Tui Kamikamica shifting to the bench and Jonah Pezzett moving to the reserves. As for the Manly side, no changes after our win the week before over the Rabbitos. So Turbo still stays in the centres, Lehigh at fullback still, and Lachlan Croker still no sign of Croker at all. So with his concussion injury. Okay, my tip for this game. Well, of course I'm going to Melbourne to back Manly, right? Of course, I'll be backing the boys for a job done on Saturday night, even though it's not too likely, but I'll back it to happen. Never know, miracles can happen. So I'll go Manly to win 1-12. I'm going to go Manly to win 22 points to 20. A penalty goal will be the difference by bowl call. And first try scorer, I'm going to go with Xavier Coates. And anytime try scorers for Melbourne, I'll back in Eli Katoa. He's in great form for the Storm. And as for Manly, I'm going to go with the man who has scored 11 tries this year and is in great form, Tolu Koula. Moving on to Sunday afternoon footy, it's the first game of two. It is the West Tigers versus Titans at Leichhardt Oval, 2 p.m. kickoff. So, yeah, look, Tigers back at Leichhardt. They often like playing there, I think. So we'll see what kind of performance the Tigers put in back at home. Tough loss to the Warriors last week. I can't believe I tipped the Tigers. Gee, I thought an upset would happen, but I was wrong. But yeah, Tigers back at Leichhardt. That will be a big confidence boost for their players. So we'll see how Tigers go. As for the Gold Coast Titans, yeah, like they were actually in the game for a while there against the Broncos, but again, just their, I guess, discipline errors let them down, and Broncos ran right over them in the end there. So we'll see how Gold Coast go for this game. They are definitely looking like wooden spoon material at this rate, though. Look at both these sides. For the Tigers, Taylor May has been named to play his first NRL game since early 2024. So welcome back, T May. Hope he goes well. So he'll start in the centres, and Adam Doueihi will go to lock. Wow, Adam Doueihi lock. Okay, I don't hate the idea, but yeah, never seen Doueihi play lock before. But he is a big body though, and I don't know if he's a centre, so we'll see how it goes. I guess could be a master stroke, but yeah, kind of caught me off guard actually. So Doueihi lock. Alex Twal moves to prop. And Alex Seyfarth has been named in the back row after Sam Fine, who picked up a knee injury last weekend, and Fanua Pole will also move to the bench for this game. As for the Titans, Tino Fa'asuamaleaui returns into the starting side after coming off the bench last week. Jamin Jolliffe is the only change to the team that fell to the Brisbane Broncos last week. So I think Jamin Jolliffe's out, is he? Yeah, I think he's out for this game. And Sam Verrills has been named and has been, cleared and named from concussion after that knocking out against the Broncos in that game last Sunday. So, yeah, he will be okay to play. Jolliffe on the bench, I mean. So, Jolliffe bench and Tino starting. All right, my tip for this game, again, very 50-50 game. Both these sides you can't trust, but I'll go Tigers, though. I think Tigers get the result this week back at Leichhardt, and I'll go Tigers in a close one. I'll go Tigers to win maybe 24 points to 14. First try scorer going with Stafford Toa, and anytime try scorers going to back Taylor May anytime, and for the Titans, going with AJ Brimson. And the last game and the main game of Sunday, it's the Knights versus Warriors at McDonald Jones Stadium up there in Newcastle. So Newcastle, their season's hanging by an absolute thread. They lose this game, they're officially done for good, I think. As for the Warriors, solid win over the Tigers last week without Metcalf and Mitch Barnett, who are out for the year. So I don't know how long Warriors can keep hustling without those two guys, especially with finals coming up. But, they keep grinding it out, then they're definitely a chance if they can play without those guys. So, yeah, solid win for the Warriors last week. Solid win. All right, looking at both these sides, for the Knights, Dane Gagai starts at fullback for this game after making the late switch to the position last week against the Storm. Fletcher Hunt will start in the centres as he did last Saturday. Dylan Lucas is out with a foot injury, so that means Brody Jones comes into the starting side at back row and Tyson Gamble, the new face, on the bench. Tyson Frizzell has also shifted to the bench with Phoenix Crossland named to start at lock and Jaron Brayley named at hooker as a result. Interesting. As for the Warriors, one change only. Kirk Capel making his return from Origin duties in the centres, and Kirk Capel replaced the injured Rocco Berry, who did his shoulder against the Tigers. All right, my tip for this game, going with the Warriors. I think Warriors have too much class, and I know there's no Metcalf for another week, but Tanner Boyd actually impressed me against the Tigers last Sunday. So if Tanner Boyd can just play a role and do a solid job, then I think Warriors get the job done on Sunday. So I'll go the Wars to win. Let's go Wars to win. I'll go 28 points to 20, bit of points. First try scorer, I'll go with Dallin Martinez-Lesniak. And anytime try scorers, let's go with Dom Young. And for the Warriors, let's go Muradni Okore. Why not? All right, that's my tip there. Warriors to win. But thanks again for watching, everyone. Hope you all enjoyed the round 20 tips. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And good luck to all your teams this weekend. But go Manly, come on.